Seaside at Roberts Park. This is State of New California, Grievance 39 from Monterey County. New California is a new state in development exercising its constitutional right to form for the state of California. The process to form New California is authorized and codified in Article 4, Sections 3 and 4 of the United States Constitution. Statement of intent. The citizens of New California have decided to remedy the abuse of power by the government of California by exercising their right to form a new state provided in the United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 3 and Section 4. Quote, we are determined to live under a state government in the United States of America and under the Constitution of the United States, unquote. New California Declaration of Independence of January 15, 2018 states, whenever any form of government becomes destructive, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government. When a long train of abuses and acts to seize and hold the people's power without legal authority and pursuing invariably the same object that clearly demonstrates a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Preamble of the New California State Constitution states, we, the representatives of the undersigned counties within the state of California, do acknowledge and humbly invoke the favor of Almighty God for continued civil and religious liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. First Amendment of the United States Constitution states, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Fourth Amendment of the United States Constitution states, the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Declaration of Grievance, Statement of Facts. The people of California are suffering from a tyrannical state government which fails to provide a Republican form of governance, enables and supports across its southern border the invasion of the United States of America by illegal foreign nationals, and protects vicious criminals who commit outrageous acts of violence against its citizens of America, all caused by a government of and for a monoparty system led by a tyrannical dictator who openly defies federal law. California state government violates the following. United States Constitution, Article 4, Section 4. The United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government and shall protect each of them against invasion, and on application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened, against domestic violence. United States Constitution, Article 6. This Constitution and the laws of the United States shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all the treaties made, or which shall be made, under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land, and the judges in every state shall be bound thereby. Anything in the Constitution or laws of any state to the contrary notwithstanding. First Amendment, United States Constitution. Congress shall make no law respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. 14th Amendment, United States Constitution, Section 3. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress, or elector of president and vice president, or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United but Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disabilities. Order of the day, save the Republic. In Grievance 37, Chapter 2, the dictator uses martial law on American citizens. The state is in martial law. We stated the following. The California governor has obtained power by the force of fear, utilizing a compliant media, pseudosciences, corrupt monoparty system, local officials, and statewide government agencies. The governor has become a classic dictator who is destroying the state and its people through martial law. Using incremental stages of implementation of martial law, the governor started with the use of emergency powers as he declared for himself one-man rule. Next came the masking, then the closures of schools, churches, businesses, travel restrictions, curfews, releasing of convicted felons, and lockdowns of entire counties in the largest state in the nation. In Grievance 38, Chapter 2, investigate domestic terrorism, we stated the following. Since March 4th, 2020, the California government has been an official dictator. The definition of a dictator by Oxford Dictionary: a ruler with total power over a country. A ruler with total power over a country, typically one who has obtained control by force. The legislature in California state is non-existent, but cannot resist their totalitarian impulses, as they have eagerly allowed the governor has usurped their power under the guise of the COVID virus. Of course, with a monoparty system that fails to provide a Republican form of government, the unilateral giving up of legislative power to the dictator has been easy, totalitarian impulse to follow. As a result, an influx of fear about the possibility of the invocation of martial law or unchecked military intervention is circulating around the internet among scholars and civilians alike. The fear is certainly understandable because martial law isn't described or confined or limited, prescribed in any way by the Constitution or laws. Bill Banks, a Syracuse professor, stated, if someone has declared martial law, they're essentially saying that they are the law. Martial law can be imposed when civil rule fails, temporarily being replaced with military authority in a time of crisis. Though rare, there have been a number of notable U.S. cases where martial law came into play, including in times of war, natural disaster, and civic disputes. While no precise definition of martial law exists, a precedent for it exists wherein certain civil liberties may be suspended, such as the right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures, freedom of association and freedom of movement, and the writ of habeas corpus, the right to a trial before imprisonment, may be suspended. According to documents from JRANK, an online legal encyclopedia, martial law may be declared by both the President and by Congress. State officials may also declare martial law. According to this, however, their actions under the declaration must abide by the U.S. Constitution and are subject to review in federal court. Notorious examples include Franklin D. Roosevelt's internment of U.S. citizens and residents of Japanese descent during World War II, and George W. Bush's programs of warrantless wiretapping and torture after the 9/11 terrorist attack. The Atlantic reported Abraham Lincoln conceded that his unilateral suspension of habeas corpus during the Civil War was constitutionally questionable, but defended it as necessary to preserve the Union. Throughout the course of U.S. history, federal and state officials have declared martial law at least 68 times. The Insurrection Act, which allows the use of active duty or National Guard troops for federal law enforcement in cases when rebellion against the authority of the U.S. make it impractical to enforce the laws of the U.S. by the ordinary course of judicial proceedings. The text of of the act reads, "Be it enacted by the State and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled, that in all cases of insurrection or obstruction to the laws, either of the United States or of an individual state or territory, where it is lawful for the President of the United States to call forth the militia for the purpose of suppressing such insurrection, or of causing the law to be duly executed, it shall be lawful for him to employ, for the same purposes, such part of the land or naval force of the United States as shall be judged necessary, having first observed all the prerequisites of the law in that respect." Governors call the National Guard all the time to respond to storms or power outages, delivering medical supplies, stuff going on even during COVID. Banks said that's not extraordinary, nor would it be if the President federalized the National Guard for similar reasons. Responding to a need to disseminate vaccines next winter, for example, would be perfectly appropriate. Lawful, not martial law. The way martial law would happen would be through the Insurrection Act. In order to invoke the Insurrection Act, the President must first issue a proclamation ordering the insurgents to disperse within a limited time. 10 U.S.C. 334.4. If the situation does not resolve itself, the President may issue an executive order to send in troops, according to a 2006 Congressional Research Service report. One of the important things to remember about the Insurrection Act is that it's not martial law. The purpose of utilizing the mechanisms of the Insurrection Act is to enforce the law, not replace it. In September 2018, the President issued an executive order to implement the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The President declared a national emergency. The just-released 45-day study required by the President's executive order by Director of National Intelligence, DNI, John Ratcliffe, assessed that China interfered in the 2020 federal elections. Now, with the 45-day study, the true enemies, both foreign and domestic, of the United States are exposed, allowing the military to declare martial law. There's nothing to prevent the President or a military commander from declaring martial law. They could just do it. It's not sanctioned by law. Save the Republic. As apparent, the nation is now the new war zone of the world. This is why it is essential the President of the United States utilize the military and use the Insurrection Act of 1807 to declare martial law to save the Republic. Insurrection. The government of California, the current socialist governor/dictator and monoparty system, along with local officials, are following a coordinated design with the intent to actively engage in acts of insurrection against the U.S. Constitution. The Insurrection Act of 1807 and the Emergency Economic Powers Act are United States federal laws that govern the ability of the President of the United States to deploy military troops within the United States to put down lawlessness, insurrection, and rebellion. Acts of succession. The California government, in conjunction with the socialist state executive, instituted wherever the current socialist governor or dictator has usurped power, has actively engaged in acts of insurrection and have created a reign of terror on United States citizens living in California with the intent to succeed for the United States of America, to thus destroy the very union of states which secures our liberty and freedom. Abdication of authority. Betrayal by the sitting socialist governor/dictator of California, the monoparty legislature, and local elected officials is evidence of abdication of their responsibilities of authority and sovereignty over the citizens of the United States living in California State. Prayer. The citizens of New California State pray for the President to exercise his authority under the Insurrection Act of 1807 to initiate the military's use of martial law to end the tyranny being foisted upon the United States of America. Grievance 39 was written for January 19th, 2021. We are behind and we are catching up. If you want to learn more, you can go to newcaliforniastate.com. In ncs51.com or call 877-828-2753. This does